How do you sum up that one?
Oh, it was definitely disappointing. Obviously, the boys have been putting a lot of work in, and we didn't get the rewards early, and then we lost our way a little bit. They were able to play a pretty strategic game, Cronulla, where they have been doing that for a number of weeks now and getting fair results, where they were able to sneak up short sides, and we didn't adjust at times to get things right, so it hurt us.
Cronulla actually didn't play that well in terms of their errors and the amount of ball that they coughed up, so there was opportunities there for you guys to win it. Is that what hurts the most?
We didn't capitalise on our opportunities. That was the disappointing part. Where you build pressure in our game, and if you don't build pressure, you put yourself under times where you spend time on your line. So and that's what we had to do. We did a lot of tackling down inside our own 20, and you got to play the game down at the other end at some stages and put a bit of work into the opposition.
What's going wrong with the attack at the moment? That try at the end was, I think, your first try since round 3.
Yeah.
Why isn't it clicking?
Well, against Melbourne, everyone was praising us about how we're going about things. We just got to keep working hard with how we're wanting to play. We've had a couple of changes at times with our spine, but we don't. That's part of it. That's part of what going through these sorts of periods are when you've got a few injuries. So we just got to look at how we do things. And they were moving pretty quick in their attack, and something there that we need to make sure that we do.
You mentioned the Melbourne game, but does it feel like you've gone backwards since then?
No, I wouldn't say we've gone backwards. I mean, we've just been challenged. We're looking at how we want to play. I've spoke to the players about how we want to attack. And we've got to keep working hard to look at the little areas that allows you to score a try in millimetres on the sideline.
How is it, Madge? I mean, that's 5 in a row, and obviously the headlines will keep coming this week. It just gets harder.
Just keep rolling up and rolling out with my team. And I've got a committed team that are fighting to try and get ourselves through this. And that's what we're doing.
It's 5 in a row, but it's easy to kick stones if you look back and look at effort. But every week there's an element there. We're putting in the effort every week at training. There's an element of confidence and things like that. And we're just these little things we just got to keep building to put into place. So every week it's we're bashing each other and things like that. And even out there was some effort there, but just some certain things that didn't go our way, and we've just got to keep going. We just got to keep going. We know we've got a strong team there. We just got to put all these little things together to make that happen.
How do you keep them up? Like morale it's got to be affected a little bit.
Yeah, no, mate. It's what you do at training. It's what you do at training. You put in the effort at training. You can do everything on the field. The level of pressure you put yourself at training is what to expect on game day. So we keep those standards and we keep that process. And like I said, these little things that come with it, and these are all teaching things with such a young group. I know we'll be right. We've got a strong group.
0 to 5, is that a reflection of your roster, or is it a reflection of the way they're performing? I mean, or is it both? How do you sum that up?
I think I'll go back to what Jimmy's saying. We're establishing a foundation of all the young kids that we've got, and you can look at many excuses, but we won't go down that path. It's about the players that step out are the ones that are out there to commit. And I'm in agreement with what Jimmy's saying. There's a lot of good things that are continually growing amongst this group. And you see that over the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, where you see some strong performances and times that lapse. We've just got to stay at it. They're reaching some high levels at training all the time, and that's because the group wants to fight to make sure that we get to obviously where the opposition were today.
You obviously want to be here for the long game, like you talk about building steps and playing the long game and whatnot. Yep. But do you grow concerned about whether there's going to be outside noise, whether there's noise about your future at 0 and 5 and what's ahead?
Yeah, my focus is on coaching my players. That's all I do. I have high regard for this group, and I've said probably a number of times over the last couple of weeks, I'm enjoying this challenge of, because clubs do go through these stages at some stage, and it's a cycle of where clubs are at times. We're just at a moment in time where we need to keep working hard through this period. You can allude to a team last year that was in a similar situation. They got a couple of players back and various things like that, and all of a sudden things clicked. I've got a few that'll come back in this week, so it gives me the ability to be able to look at performance.
Andrew John said in commentary he's worried that it might not be rock bottom for the Tigers yet. How do you respond to something like that?
Oh, I'll disagree. I think I disagreed with Joey a couple of weeks ago around a few things. But look, he's able to have his comments and those sorts of things. But what I do see is what's going on internally, and I've been fortunate to be able to see what it looks like at a number of organisations, and the commitment of the players every week have really turned up to do a lot of the things that Jimmy alluded to, and that's how you build. You need to build all little areas of your game to be able to then nail it.
Can you understand the frustration of the fans, Madge? Because what they've seen over the last couple of years is that there has been changes and there's been talk of improving, and then this happens again to start the year. Can you understand their frustration with it?
Oh, of course, mate. Every fan wants to win. We all want to win, but you can't just wave a magic wand when you've got to change a few things within an organisation. It's about looking at all the smaller areas. I mean, there's so many good things that are going on in our club from junior levels upwards, but it takes time. We haven't been able to do those sorts of different things in the past, and that plays a big part in being able to establish yourself. To be the clubs that sit at the top.
You said after the Titans game you just wanted to see effort and energy, right? That was the most thing you wanted to see. Was that like today enough effort and energy for you for an NRL team?
I challenged my team on that one today. I thought there were times there where we needed to be sharper in that area. Yeah.
So like the ball's going over the sideline, no urgency to keep them in, like missed tackles, close to the try line. Is that good enough for an NRL team in your opinion?
We'll challenge each other on that department.
Do you have the depth to make changes? Do you want to make changes next week? I know you've got some guys coming back, but do you have the depth to make changes if you need to?
This week and work out which way we want to go.
Also, Dane Laurie today, what's the situation with him?
COVID.
Okay, so he just turned up to the ground and tested positive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy, do you feel for Madge? He's obviously the face of this streak at the moment.
I tell you what, and not so long ago, I was in a similar situation at Penrith, and we had a strong group. Look at Penrith now. I mean, you can't give up, and at times at Penrith it felt like that, but they didn't. Look at them now, and I know that group and they're in the same situation. They want to strive for success. They want to be better each week, and I feel the similarities here. All these little things when you're in the crossroads and all that, they all add up to something. You take the good and the bad and all that, but you keep striving to success, you'll get there.
Jimmy, just quickly on the stupidity of the pitch invader, how dangerous was that? He was within less than a metre from players in the middle of the field there with a flare.
Yeah, I haven't really had a thought about it, but you're right, that to get that close to players, things like that, who knows what his intentions were. I guess, having this situation, and luckily nothing happened, but having this situation will put a bit more urgency into, upcoming games.
Just on Jackson Hastings back next week. Do you have an idea? Is he definitely coming back into the halves, or is he at 13? Especially after today, I don't think you broke the line.
I'll go through that performance and decide which way we go.
Whether it's halves or
as I said, I'll go through the game and have a look at how we'll move forward.
Thanks, Alex.